Come back to The Witcher 3.
Await those running riot. Our duchy values peace and quiet.
Night, love, and wine counsel no dark-hearted measures.
Snow White!
Name's Geralt. What can I do for you?
That hair! The scar! The frown! It's all perfect.
Something you actually want from me? Or are you just gonna go on gushing about my attributes?
I admire, good sir. Admire and desire. Such a threat in the eyes. Oh, so manly.
If you're trying to get me to meet with you some evening, afraid you're just wasting your time.
An evening? Impossible. I shall require the soft light of mid-afternoon for this portrait.
Portrait?
Indeed. Yours. En face. Actual size. With the finest vista Toussaint affords behind you. Pose for me. You must. Naturally, I shall pay the compensation due to you for your modeling services.
Don't see why not. Long as it doesn't take long.
It shan't, never worry. We've but a short distance to journey into the hills outside of town. A perfect landscape perfectly to frame your perfect physiognomy.
Let's go then.
I need only fetch my easel and palettes from my studio. We shall meet at noon at the western gate, near the palace. From where we'll venture forth together.
Lebioda wept.
This is a perfect way of proving your generosity, apparently. If you didn't tip... You can tip the kid when you receive the letter. You should tip the kid, or you'll end up having to pay for it. Like I do. That's a virtue of generosity. And, well, let's just say that this is... that what's about to follow, once I do this quest, is a love letter from CD Projekt to Witcher 1 fans in particular. Reminding us that we're not completely forgotten. Thing is, when it comes to Witcher 1 and the things it did, they kind of stopped giving a fuck about a lot of the things that Witcher 1 did so well. The identity quest, the moral dilemmas, they abandoned them one by one. Not so much in Witcher 2, did have a lot of the moral dilemmas, the racial conflict, the what is a monster moral dilemma, the what is a Witcher moral dilemma, in fact that was front and center. But they did abandon the identity quest, and in Witcher 3 they abandoned everything. There's no moral dilemma in the main story. Whereas in Witcher 1 and Witcher 2, there were three fundamentally different, well, three main moral dilemmas, three big questions, three different ones as well. Very different. I mean, they were related to a certain extent, but still.
I'm here.
Let us go! We should arrive in time to have the best light of the day. The chiaroscuro we shall capture. Just glorious.
Let's go. The things I do for art.
We had best ride there. We'll arrive faster and less fatigued. A work of mine. Turtle dove o'er the heath. Tanks in the ducal palace.
So does a cockatrice I cut down once. It's stuffed, maybe even with heather.
I once had a cockatrice feather brush. Best thing for laying down tempera. I no longer have it, sadly. My blasted cat swiped it.
Why would a cat want a brush?
To paint with, of course. And it was no common brush. Fantastic, as I said. And fantastically expensive.
Hang on. Got a cat that paints?
Yeah, if you care to call it that. He merely copies the works of his betters. And poorly at that.
Your cat?
Yes. Pierre Auguste Moustachois. It's no surprise you've not heard of him. He's a second-rate hack and a thief. We'll continue on foot. Ladies, gentlemen, my lieges, forgive me for being forward, but have you perchance seen a set of paints and brushes nearby?
Eugenie, I believe this peasant wants something from us.
My paints, my brushes, I had prepared them. They were here.
We've not seen any journeyman's tools, my good man. Of that I assure you.
There a problem?
Yes, an immense one. I cannot possibly paint without my paints. I'm done for. Unless you would be kind enough to locate them?
Wouldn't happen to have another set with you? And, nothing you could use instead?
My word. Would you really have me scrawl with charcoal like an animal?
Damn it. Sure you left them here?
Yes, right there. I'd prepared everything. Set it out. Ordered and organized.
Might have toppled downhill or something. Fine, I'll take a look around.
I think it is life that imitates art, and not vice versa.
Right you are, Fingal. Take Baron de Cordel for one.
Oh yes, that nose.
Spilled paint.
He actually had a
Reeks to high heavens of turpentine.
And now he's begun courting his cousin.
Footprints. Clear, but curiously small. Another stain. Could very well be a lead. Got paint drops here, too. Neckers? Look like they made off with paints. Question is, why?
Why would Neckers pick up paints?
Empty container. Painter can't use this. Paints. Don't look ruined. Painter should still be able to use them.
What's the logic behind Neckers picking up paints? Well, they're creatures, I suppose. They don't... Never mind. They're mindless beasts. Well, actually, one shouldn't say beasts are mindless because they really aren't, but still.
Found your things.
Splendid. Where were they? And... is this all you found? I left so much more.
Should have kept it all with you, not left it lying around. Followed some paint tracks to a necker lair. Seems the beast's made off with your supplies. Used it to paint a fresco on one of the cave walls. Looked something like a battle scene to me.
Impossible. They splashed paint on the wall in a rage. Unimportant. In any case, it's a good thing you found the basic colors. Shall we? While waiting, I spied a superior spot.
Not so fast, Roach.
We have had fantastic luck with the weather. The light is perfect, absolutely perfect.
Painting this masterpiece gonna take long?
A mere 6 hours. The sun won't allow us to work any longer than that. Oh, but the time will fly by. We'll chat, swap tales.
Better yet, let me down a potion. Time will definitely fly by in a state of lethargy. No need to swap tales.
No. Your expression, your posture, they must be just so. You must look alive with fire in your gaze. Lethargy is out of the question.
Come on, give it some thought. You could title the painting, A Witcher Lying Senselessly on the Heath.
You jest. A jesting witcher.
Slower. This the place?
Yes. Just look at the view. Breathtaking. The perfect background for our masterpiece.
Pretty, I guess.
Now, you must carefully consider in what pose you wish to be immortalized.
All right. Considering.
All is ready. We may begin. Have you decided on the pose you'd like to adopt?
How about I be on horseback? I mean, Roach kind of deserves to be immortalized too.
Oh, yes. A horse. Exceptional idea. But I would rather you perch atop Alexander, my mount. I've trained him to pose. I shall paint in the carcass of a slain griffin later. Now, raise your head to exude pride. Thrust your breast forward. Go on, breast forward. I want to see those hocks extended. Ahem. Is the horse paying attention? May I begin? Or would you rather try a different pose?
That's very heroic.
Let me try something else. Maybe I could just stand, sword in hand.
Ah, splendid! A heroic pose, of course. The bold warrior, his sword held aloft, ready to run at that willow over there. I will paint in a griffin later. Shall I begin? Or would you prefer to adopt another pose?
Go ahead.
Now, be so kind as to adopt that look you gave me when I first asked you to work with me. That intense scowl of an angry wild ram about to butt heads. Yes, excellent. Now, hold that. Do not budge.
This gonna take much longer?
Not much at all. We'll run out of daylight soon. Please, keep your head still, in the same position.
Fine, I'll try. I'll also try to remember to never trust a painter again.
Griffin!
Yeah, I know. You'll paint one in later.
Gods! A griffin!
Run, and hide!
Dearest Mummy! Ah!
How you like that silver?
Is it safe?
Yeah, come on out. And no wonder no one ever came here. It was a griffin's hunting ground.
Oh, that thing scared me to death.
Not quite to death. You are alive. Not least because you chose a witcher to sit for you. How's the painting? It survived too?
It did. But I cannot show it to you now. I never display unfinished work. You can see it tomorrow, after midday, where we met. I shall display it in the market square. Oof, monstrous beast. Shall we immortalize it in the painting?
Beauclair or the griffin? Monstrous, majestic beast.
Yeah, let's add it. Carcass can serve as your prop.
Splendid! Interesting color palette. And the textures and the proportions. It will do. Yes, it will do. But I shall paint it in later, in my atelier. There's an excellent illustration in the Encyclopedia Maxima Mundi. I fear this specimen is, well, too far cut and chopped. Ah, very well. That will do for now. I shall polish the details later. No point struggling on in this fading light. Ah, I almost forgot. Payment for your troubles. And I thank you for saving my life. Though, in doing so, you did also save your likeness. For posterity.
Hey-ya!
Alright then. Let's get that portrait.
Butt rot take you.
Lifting hand to mouth. Why I
Oh,
stand to
God,
keep
the
nothing
found
aside
his
for
way
my
to the
daughter.
Bortella, no doubt.
Truly necessary? And our knights, what are they? Chopped liver?
Greetings.
Geralt, there you are. So, our painting. Are you pleased? Is it to your liking? Do tell.
Not exactly what I imagined. I believe I posed with all my clothes on. Clearly remember that, in fact. Some other details are off, too.
Invalid as a criticism. I depicted you in a more flattering state. The painting has drawn crowds, aroused a great deal of interest.
Can see that. Anyway, some advice for the future. Warn your subjects about your intentions. Your next model might not be so forgiving.
You don't like it. I'm hurt. Perhaps you'd care to buy the painting. Given our rapport, I shall take a loss. For you, I'll part with it, I will, at a special price.
Why not? It'll make an interesting memento, though I'd hardly call the price a bargain.
Indeed, few have the sophistication to appreciate my technique. I sometimes go hungry as a consequence.
All right. At least this way I'll be able to control who sees it. Thanks.
Come on, come here. I shan't bite you.
Ooh.
I will hang it in the bedroom. Or the main room. Oh man. This is expressing my generosity. Well, I suppose it worked.
They fought like two cats in a bag, and now they're to run Belgard together.
Stink of wine, my wife won't know. Nothing says.
Alright. Now, for the moment of truth.
Show me your sword.
Run, Roach.
Walking on water. Okay.
You have proven the 5 chivalric virtues dwell in your heart.
Mean the sword's mine? I can dive in and take it?
The sword deserves the hand of a master. You must prove your skills are worthy through combat atop the water's surface. Are you ready?
Anytime.
Then draw your blade. One of your
pathetic.
You have proven worthy of wielding the blade, beyond all doubt.
Behold, your Aerondight.
We've met before.
Certainly. The hermit admitted he knew you, remember?
The Lady of the Lake.
It is I. Forget not that you are a man right and honorable, devoted to doing good. And for these reasons you received the blade. Now bear it. And I trust this time you shall not lose it.
Lose it? You know, ignoring the fact that the blade is just standing there, I didn't lose Aerondight.
Just wonderful.
In point of fact, I kept it throughout all The Witcher 2. Even if it was in storage. Aerondight. Geralt's sword. Oh, and the Lady of the Lake totally had sex with her in The Witcher 1. This sword is very, very powerful on all levels. It deals tremendous damage. It has a very powerful ability. It has no rune slots. Maybe I can add some, but it's still very powerful. Well, it's time I abandon the Viper sword and move on to this. I was kind of expecting, I was kind of hoping for a longer conversation actually. Not just this. I also would have liked if she had called out on Geralt for not keeping his vow. Remember, Geralt made a vow in The Witcher 1 to follow the virtues, the chivalric virtues in essence. Did he? He's lied. He's killed people. Even innocents. Let innocents died. There's a lot of things Geralt did. At the same time, however.
Grey, yes. Scraggly, yes. But at the turn, they knew equal.
Just take to work as they take to dance and drink.
The Dutch is small. any who's not heard of our wines?
Well, that's about it. Costin here on Serious Gaming, signing out. And stay tuned for more.
Small, but do you know any who's not